Hey Sharon, I understand that climate change is also making itself felt in Kenya. Tell us more about that.
Yes, NT, national parks in Kenya have been hit by an unexpected drought and animals are struggling to survive. This has a knock-on problem because these animals attract tourists, an important source of income. Patrick Kilonzo has set up an initiative to help the animals.
Patrick Walua is a man with a mission. His task is to make sure the animals in Tsavo National Park get enough to drink. He drives many kilometers through the vast parched landscape to deliver a commodity that's limited here: water. A rough track leads to the water hole where the buffalo, elephants, zebras, and antelope come to slake their thirst.
We are now in Taita Hill Sanctuary in Tsavo West ecosystem, and we are right at the water hole where we give animals water. This is one of the water holes that we use for our animals, to have water.
Patrick started his campaign in 2016 when he observed that animals were walking long distances to seek water but were unable to find any. His initiative not only saves animals from dying of thirst, but also helps avoid possible human-wildlife conflicts. To finance the project, he gets help from GoFundMe, an online crowdfunding platform. The initiative costs a total of about $250 per water tanker. Currently, he delivers about once a week. The Wildlife Sanctuary also supports his campaign because it helps keep animals away from the local people.
From this particular initiative, we as a sanctuary management, we really appreciated this because sometime the previous year, that is 2015, animals used to look for water at the community water points. And this one was actually a very big challenge because a lot of people were actually being affected by this human-wildlife conflict.
Patrick is hoping that rain will come soon because he needs the water for his other environmental project.
I want to build some tanks around Tsavo so that when it doesn't rain for quite some time, we can take water from there and feed our water holes for our animals. So we will have a lot of reservoirs around here so that we don't experience the same problem that we're experiencing now.
Kenya's Tsavo region is considered one of the best places in the world to see large elephants, so it's a great asset for tourism. Patrick also likes to visit the national park's tourist attractions like Mzima Springs.
After a hard day, after the strong heat of Tsavo, after working, I normally like coming here as a breathtaking place so that I can just have some peace and some energy to refresh myself again before I go home.
Patrick Malua works as a farmer in a nearby village. For him, bringing water to the animals is a sacred task. Locals here call him the guardian of Tsavo.
One South African city is trying a new low-carbon and resource-efficient way of covering its food needs, an agri-village that runs on alternative energies. Unfortunately, the flagship project in the municipality of Shwane still has some teething problems, but the 25 young farmers who work there are determined to solve the problems together. After 1 year, the enterprise is beginning to take root.
Elizabeth Mabata is one of 25 local people selected to join the Agripolitan City. The idea is to generate electricity with the group's own solar power plant and recycled organic waste from livestock, and use the power to produce low-cost food for the local population.
The plan, it was to use the solar and the biogas, because the biogas, we only feed them with the waste. This one, the waste from the chickens, it goes straight to the biogas. It's simple for us because we are not going to waste money to pay the electricity from the ESCOM. Otherwise, we are not going to benefit anything.
Energy from the state power company is too expensive. The municipal government invested the equivalent of 3 million euros in Agripolitan City's infrastructure. Each farmer is given a house, a chicken farm, a greenhouse, 1,000 chicks, and animal feed. Project manager Selo Mafaga is confident the green project will succeed in the long term.
The Agripolitan City was developed in mind with showcasing and demonstrating the sustainability element of a sustainable living and working environment. We have somewhat included or incorporated in the project the rainwater harvesting aspect, the renewable energy aspect, but most importantly, to have this farm to be off-grid.
That's actually a problem right now. Elizabeth's greenhouse is empty because the supply of water from the wells dried up. The biogas converter isn't yet producing enough power to pump the water to the surface. The plant requires 6 tons of organic waste every day to keep the farm powered up around the clock. But not enough fuel is being produced yet, and a number of solar panels have been stolen. The autonomous power grid isn't yet up and running, but that's not dampening Elizabeth's optimism.
I see a progress because when I was there in the location, there were no progress. I like to plant, as I'm saying, I grown up in a home, it was planting. But the space was like this, you know, in the location. We share the yard. So I cannot do anything. I can just plant like this, only this spinach, that's all. So for me, it's a better life when I'm here.
The new project is within walking distance of the nearest township, so in theory at least, it could produce cheaper meat and vegetables for the local population. The new farmers can expect to gross an estimated 40,000 euros a year.
The model, once it's running and on its full speed, it's clearly a proper one to can replicate throughout the city and most probably throughout the province and the country. Because to us, putting together what could be a game changer in a sense of food security, climate change action, sustainable living.
The green project is still in its development phase and has already suffered serious setbacks. Production can only get going once the missing solar modules have been replaced and the water starts flowing from the wells. And while it's a waiting game for the farmers, the authorities already have plans to expand the Agripolitan City.